Do you want your child to learn to read and write in Spanish? Maybe every time you've asked for advice on how to do this, someone's like, oh, just use this worksheet or this workbook or buy this thing on Amazon or just work on the syllables. Your child will learn from there. But you're looking for a little bit more guidance. And beyond those answers, you're just tired of having to Google everything and piece together some type of homemade curriculum. You just want everything in one place. You want a guide of how to go through it. You want it to be engaging and fun and exciting for your child. And you're so done just Googling answers and hoping that it's accurate information and is going to work for your family. So you're looking for something that's a little bit more solid in how to teach your child the letter sounds in Spanish and how to really build their phonemic and phonological awareness that will serve them in not only Spanish, but in all of the languages that they go on to read and write. If you're looking for something like that, we invite you to check out Letras en mi Boca, Bilingüitos' signature foundational Spanish literacy class, completely self-paced video course with printables and a guide specifically for parents so that you can know exactly how to implement literacy instruction in your home with your chiquito. Because let's be real, whether we're talking about English or Spanish literacy or any other language for that matter, kids need a whole lot more than just worksheets, rote memorization, mame, mi, momu, mame, mi, momu. Okay, but what does that mean? And more than just tracing letters. Like tracing letters is not going to get your child reading. So we are here to propose an alternative. Letras en mi Boca, Bilingüitos' signature Spanish literacy class for bilingual kids. You know that they're going to learn to read and write in English, but you as a parent raising bilingual kids are extremely passionate about making sure that they also learn to read and write in Spanish. You're looking for quality phonics-based literacy instruction in Spanish that your kids can do from the comfort of home and completely self-paced with a guide that helps you know exactly how to implement all of the material. To learn to read, kids have to build a connection between sounds and letters, between spoken language and written language. They need to bridge that gap. They know spoken language, they've been surrounded by it since birth, but written language is something that has to be explicitly taught to them. And, just surrounding them with posters and books is not going to just magically teach them to read. They need somebody to guide them in that process of understanding letter sound correspondence, how our spoken language is made up of speech sounds, but then how does that translate onto a page? How does the process of reading work? How do we start mapping out letters to sounds and having our brain be able to decode written words on a page? All of that is covered in our Letras en mi Boca class. The video lessons are in Spanish, full Spanish immersion for your chiquito. And then the parent guide and information and some bonus videos for parents is in English, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. So the video lessons are in Spanish for kids. There is a bunch of information for parents to help you implement everything, and that is written in English with scripts in Spanish. And all of these things come together to really help set your bilingüito, bilingüita on a path to success in their Spanish literacy journey. We know that English, if you're living in the US, Canada, England, Australia, wherever English is the majority language, we know that that's going to be taken care of. Although you also want to make sure you have quality English literacy instruction, which I will link to some of our favorite resources for that as well. But let's assume that English literacy is going to be taken care of at some way or another, where Spanish literacy is not guaranteed unless you are making sure to be intentional about your pursuit of biliteracy and specifically Spanish literacy instruction. Okay, so are you feeling excited or maybe even a tad bit overwhelmed with all of this information? Like, yes, I want Spanish literacy for my child. Excited, but overwhelmed because where do you start? I have so many questions swirling around my head about Spanish literacy, the differences between English and Spanish, where to start. We do uppercase or lowercase, letter sounds or letter names. What language should we be working on first when it comes to literacy? We have got you covered. This is exactly what Letras en mi Boca is going to cover. And we invite you to dive in. We have a free module. The first module is free, although module 1 in the paid course is a little bit more robust, but just so that you can get an idea of what the format is like, if your child responds well to the video lessons, what are the printables like, stuff like that. All of that you can find in our free first module of Letras en mi Boca. So we invite you to dive into that, see if it worked out well for you, and then you can get full access and start going through all of the letters, all of the letter sounds, playing phonological awareness games or sound games that can be played anywhere. in the car, at a restaurant, at the doctor's office. There's going to be songs that you guys can practice. There's a bunch of printables that you can use so that you're working on outside of the video course. You can be working on stuff all throughout the week and just really strengthening and practicing all of those letter sounds. And then your child will be well on their way to Spanish literacy. Thank you so much for checking out Letras from Boca, and we really hope that this resource truly serves you and your bilingual family. Hasta muy pronto!